Do you ever have one of those shoots where nothing goes right? This video is one of those. All the way through until the last 10 minutes of the day. With the build up to that thing called Christmas and New Year, my time was quite limited. I was quite limited of what I can actually do. And this was actually shot just before Christmas. And it was the only day I had where I didn't have Sarah, children or work. So it was a free day. As it had been about 2 weeks since I last went out with the camera, I thought that day was the day to go. I had a look at the weather forecast. It was drizzly, it was a little bit miserable, but yeah, I can fight through that, can't I? I'll leave you now with some footage of the drive. That was bad enough. As I was heading further into Wales, the weather was getting worse and worse, and it was just like a really heavy drizzle that just turned into, well, really heavy rain just everywhere. There was no escape from it. The wind started to build up, and at one point I thought, I'm gonna have to turn around and come back. The trees were really sort of starting to shake over the road. And yeah, I don't want a tree falling on the car. The only thing that was actually amusing about that whole journey was the Mondeo estate I was stuck behind in traffic for a lot of the way had a fake taxi sticker on the back, which I believe is some adult site. The initial plan was to head into Llanberis and take some images of the lone tree. I thought with the dramatic weather it would actually really add something to it. I'll show you a couple of images now of the car park. I couldn't even get close. I knew I was in trouble when I drove into that puddle and my parking sensor started to go off. That's how high the water level was. Any further and I would have hydrolocked my engine. Not a good thing to do. I actually parked the car up and tried to walk to where the lone tree was, and a rough estimate, the end of the car park was between 3 and 4 foot deep. The whole of the lake had just basically overcome into the car park, and you couldn't tell what was car park and which was lake. So I had to scrap that idea. Although the waders would have been brilliant. So the next scene, I'm there and I'm determined not to let the weather stop me. Well, hello and welcome to the vlog. Today you join me on quite a windy day. I've had quite a bit of a challenge to get here, and yeah, I'm finally here. The weather really isn't playing ball. Where am I? Well, I'm in Menai, I'm in Bangor. Just behind me is the Menai Bridge, we've got the Menai Straits, and then we've got a shot that I've been trying to get for quite a time now. Every time I've come here, the weather conditions just haven't been right, and yeah, same for today, but I'm going to stick around and shoot it. But yeah, I'm going to shoot this this cabin in the background with the shot onto the bridge in the distance. So yeah, fingers crossed. So I've been here about 30 minutes now, and the weather's started to let up a little bit. We're getting a little bit of colour in the sky. Not behind it, it's still completely black, but yeah, there's some light happening, believe it or not. So yeah, I'm going to stick around and just sort of see what I can get. There are some lights turning around because this sound's going to be horrendous. There is some light on the building. They've got some little lights on, so I might be able to take advantage of that once it starts to get darker. But yeah, currently it's just proving quite difficult, and I'm not sure if this vlog will actually come out. If you're watching it, well, then I've decided to process it, edit it, and do what I need to do with it. But yeah, fingers crossed we can actually get something from this. At this point, I thought the weather was actually starting to change, and I was starting to get a few patches of actually colour, blue sky in the distance. But that was very short-lived. It actually started to rain heavier than it did before. And that's the way it continued for the next couple of hours. Heavy rain and heavy wind. So I went for a bit of a walk to have a look at some compositions, something else I could get from that location. I was still, at this point, determined not to let the rain beat me. The whole point of this video was to do a comparison between the Nikon D850 and what I'm shooting on now. And yeah, I don't think that's really going to work today. I'm thinking I'm going to have to say that for another time and sort of reveal all at a later date, because yeah, when I'm fighting with these elements, it's just not worth it. It's just not working. So I'm just sort of trying to survive and do what I can, and yeah, shoot what I can. So yeah, bear with us on this one. So by this point, the weather had actually beaten me. I decided to head to a local supermarket, get something for tea, and yeah, call it quits, drive home and relax a bit. On the way back to the car, I threw my chicken cav in the boot, getting all my gear off the back and sort of trying to dry everything off for the drive home. As soon as I reached for the boot lid, the sky lit up. But I knew I was a good sort of 7-8 minutes walk away at fast pace from where I'd been. What should I do? Call it quits, head home, have my tea, or head down to the location I was at? I ran for it. Well, it's like 2 different days today. I've had a bit of a walk around. I've gone to the church and had a walk on the other side of the bridge, and we've now got completely blue skies. A bit of a sunset going on as well. But everything's completely sodden. The camera's sodden. The microphone looks like when they say it's a dead cat, it's like a drowned cat. But yeah, I've taken a couple more shots. I was about to wrap it up. I went to the local shop and got something for tea to head off back, and I put it in the car. I could just see the light just glaring through the trees. I thought, no, let's head back down and see what else I can get. I've come down now. It's a little bit too late. I actually darted towards where the church is, just to try and get something from there, because I've only got a couple of minutes here, and yeah, lo and behold, I didn't have enough time. So I've come back to the original location to try and get some from here. I've taken a couple of shots. They're not brilliant. We've kind of lost the mood, even though it's too much mood. We've got, let's say, clear skies now, and it's not really the look I was going for. But I'm going to continue for the next sort of 20 minutes or so, try and get a couple more shots, just as it starts to get dark. And yeah, just to see what I can get really. But yeah, I think this vlog's a bit of a failure, but hey, we get them. You know, we've got to fight against them once we're here. But yeah, been shooting and doing well, so I can't. So yeah, I'm going to take a few more images now. I'll show you the images at the end. I'll probably do the outro at the end once I've had a look at the images, and I don't know, I might return back to this location very, very soon. So from Menai, I'll show you the images, and I'll speak to you from home. See you in a bit. Bye bye now. Now, I've been umming and ahhing over the past couple of weeks whether I should post this video out. And I've decided to, obviously because you're watching it, but I've decided for one reason, and one reason only. Far too many times do we only ever see photographers' final work. A photographer's beautiful day, beautiful shots, and it seems so easy for a lot of people. But it isn't. And I wanted to show you how difficult it actually can be in a location. And I hope this video has given you a bit of a taste of actually what it's like when things just don't go right. You're fighting everything. Yes, I still managed to get a couple of images that I was fairly happy with, but I almost very easily quit. So what's my final word on this video? I think we always need to stay till the end. Sometimes it'll work, other times it just won't. But if we don't try, we'll never know. Gosh, that sounds really cheesy, but I'm sticking with it. I'm going to stick with that, and that's the whole purpose of this video, and that's the reason why I've released it. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have, give me the thumbs up. It was quite difficult to make, and if you haven't done so already, please consider subscribing. It'd be great to have you on board with the channel. Also, let me know who you are, where you're from, and whether you've actually fought against these conditions, or actually been to that location as well. It would be great to hear. So from Warrington today into the new year, from Anglesey last year, it's time to finish this video here. All the best, take care. Next video out very, very soon. Bye-bye now.